Vlogmas.
Day 15. So how was your advent calendar today?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, what'd you have?
Got an ambulance.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I had a droid control ship that I somehow was able to make in a bag.
Hashtag bag build.
Hashtag bag builders. Yeah, it was a little interesting, but did it. Here it is. So, we've been waiting to hear, how was Pete's Christmas?
Pretty wacky.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I don't even know. So disorienting.
What's it about?
There's your boy Pete. He's there, and it's Christmas.
Okay.
And he wakes up and he goes downstairs to open those presents, but they forgot to get him a Christmas present.
What?
And he's like, guys, and his parents are like, oh, sorry, must have forgot to talk to Santa about your Christmas present. And he was like, guys.
Wait, how old is Pete though about?
He's like teenage.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I don't know. There's like, he has like a younger brother who's like a baby age, but then at the end of the film, hashtag spoilers, then they like had this small child to like seemingly talking to like one of the neighborhood kids or something who was like baby. He was like extra baby, and then they were like supposed to be friends. And it's like that child would not talk to that baby child. That second smaller child, too baby.
Too baby for that one. Okay.
So that was weird. But there's Pete. He's sad because his Christmas is ruined. And then, so they don't get him a gift. And then he goes to the football game. Their yearly Christmas football game. Where they play football. And he's playing football. And he's just horrible at it. And, then he scores for the other team, and it's their winning score, and he's like, I'm so sad now. And then he gets like tackled by a bunch of people, and he's really sad about it. Oh, also before that, I think he rips his pants in front of like some hot girl, and he's like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing because there's some hot girl here. And now I just ripped my pants in front of her on the fence.
Oof.
At one point, like, a Christmas tree fell, and there was, like, a power outage, and, like, I don't even know what. And then they didn't reset their oven after the power outage, and then their food never cooked, and so then they had to go out to eat, and then they got food poisoning, and then the smallest child threw up on Pete, and so Pete is just, like, very sad.
It was a terrible day.
It's a no good, horrible, terrible.
Yeah.
No good, very bad day.
Yeah.
And so then he goes to sleep. And then he wakes up, and then his brother, he has to sleep in the same bed with his brother because then their grandpa is also staying there. And then the dad and the grandpa are always arguing, and then on Christmas the grandpa leaves. And he's like, I know, and I'm not wanted. But he also gives Pete a box. And he's like, you know, I had a bad Christmas like this once, and I didn't get anything. And then Pete was like, you got nothing for Christmas? And then he was like, nothing except this box, and now I'm giving this box to you, Pete. And then he gives the box to Pete, and it's like empty. And Pete is like, this is the worst box ever. So he goes to bed, and then he wakes up, and then his younger brother is like, oh, trains. And then, but the brother was also like, oh, trains the day before. And so then he's like, oh, what the heck? Why are you still all up in my bed even though the grandpa is leaving and you can just sleep in your room now? And then he's like, what do you mean, bro? Just talking about trains. And then, and so then, Pete goes downstairs, and then all the same things are happening, and he's like, And then he thinks that he's getting #pranked.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, stop pranking me. And then they're like, all right, Pete, you ready for your present? And he's like, oh, yeah, bro, for sure. And then he assumes that they're just redoing Christmas so that they could make it less garbage. And so then he looks under the tree for his present, and he still doesn't have a gift. And then he's like, bro, you pranked me just to relive this horrible Christmas, and you still don't get me a gift? And so then he thinks that he's being punished because he was the worst yesterday. And then they're like, IDK, what you mean, bro? And then, that happens for a while. And he keeps on, making the exact same mistakes for such a long period of time in the movie.
Yeah.
Because, he keeps on ripping his pants every single time. Just avoid the fence. Just walk around the fence. I don't know why he has to keep on doing that. So that was pretty lame. And then at one point, eventually, he does walk around the fence. I think that's, the first change that he makes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And so then he did, a victory dance after that, and he was, real excited. But now he's embarrassing himself in front of this hot girl with his victory dance. And it's so embarrassing. But then eventually, he makes changes where he just, asks this random girl a bunch of questions, and then each day he just, comes back with more information that he knew about her. And he's because, his family goes Christmas caroling or whatever, where they, sing at people's doors, and then, so he goes up to her door and sings, Jingle Bells or something, and then he's like, that's my favorite song, and then she's like, oh my god, that's my favorite song too! But it's just because, he asked her. So then they have that for a while, and it's pretty creepy.
Is there a point to this movie?
I don't know.
Is he, a jerk in the beginning of the movie?
I don't know. I don't know how unjerkified he gets by the end.
So, okay, at the end, does he end up having a better Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, he fixes everything at the end, but, and, I don't know. He's, I guess, morally better, but, I don't think that's gonna last,
So the moral of the story is, if you have a crappy Christmas and a bad family, you just need a magic box from Grandpa to be able to change things.
I guess.
Because if you don't do it, no one else will. Self-reliance. So does he end up getting with that girl then?
I don't know, I guess.
They're boyfriend and girlfriend now?
I don't know if they're dating at then, but they're at a Christmas party together.
After he creeps on her.
Yeah, and then he ends up just telling her every single day that he's being Groundhog Day. And then she gives him advice.
The same advice or different advice?
Different advice.
Okay. Well, that's insightful.
Well, they're all very similar though. But at some point, eventually he starts changing things to make them better, because at first he asked his grandpa for advice, and his grandpa was he was if you were reliving the same day over and over, what would you do? And his grandpa was I'd beat a bunch of people up. And then he was... and so then he was all right. And then he went and started beating a bunch of people up. So... well, it's sort of he just gets revenge on people, because his brother knocks over the Christmas tree and causes the power outage, and then blames it on him. And so then he takes a video of his brother doing it from outside the window. And then and so then he shows his parents the video, and they're like, so you just took, like, this video and stood here and, like, didn't even help him or anything?
Yeah, you creepo.
So...
What's the point of that?
But then eventually he starts changing things for the better, and then he makes everything perfect and wonderful, except for his grandpa keeps on always leaving, and he's real sad about it. And so then he has to bring his grandpa and his dad together. He also learns how to play the guitar and impresses the lady by playing Jingle Bells on the guitar. And also at one point he, like, finds out that her dad died, and then she invites her and her mom over for Christmas dinner, and then plays, like, her dad's favorite Christmas song or something that they, like, always sung together on Christmas, and he learned that on the guitar. And then, but it's all, like, on the electric guitar, too.
Oh.
And so it's, like, this real sad song, but he's, like, rocking out.
It's rocking out. That's how Pete rolls, man.
Yeah. But they only have him playing on the guitar for, like, 2 seconds, and then the mom starts playing it on a piano, and then he doesn't even.
Yeah, she's like, move over, Pete. This is garbage.
Yeah, so, I don't know, that was a little bit weird. But eventually he makes Christmas magical by having the dad and the grandpa bond through memories of his grandma.
Okay. So there's heart in this movie.
Yeah, and then at the end he's like, hey grandpa, I figured out what this box is for. And then the grandpa's like, what's it for, Pete? And then he's like, he says something about it like being a metaphor for life. It was, like, really deep. It was like, oh, it's not what's in the box, it's what you make of it, or something, like, really deep.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But then it turned out to actually be a music box, and then after he got on Groundhog Day, it played music when he opened it. But, like, the music box doesn't have anything in it. Like, it's still empty. I don't know why you have, like, this box that just plays music, but there's nothing in it.
How could he even play music? So does Grandpa know that it's, like, a magic box?
No, he just like, oh, this is an empty box.
Pete's Christmas.
Yeah.
Recommend. Okay. What Spanish words did you learn?
Memory, focus, lights, but in Spanish.
Christmas?
Well, I knew that before. It had to be words that you didn't know.
Okay. Cool. Pete's Christmas. Bye. End of vlog.